So I'm going to try and keep this brief because I know that all the things I would say are just going to be things that your other favorite Fortnite creators have already said. But I had a few people ask me for my opinion, and I think it's important to get my view out there. Please forgive me if I get a little rambly because I don't have a script, but recently, if you did not see, Epic Games confirmed that they laid off like 1,000 people. Before we really get into that, though, I want to kind of dive into a little bit of my backstory, I guess some deep haunted house lore. A lot of you probably don't know, but I used to work a big old corporate sales job. I was pretty good at it too. I climbed the ranks very quickly. I was one of the youngest sales team leaders in the company's history. And with that, I got to sit in on some meetings with the big bosses, the head honchos, the big cheeses that sat in an ivory tower overlooking the rest of the small, insignificant salespeople. These were the people, the men and women who made all the choices. They decided the direction the company was taking. They decided how the product was going to look. They decided the methods that we were going to use to try and separate the average Joe from just a little bit more of his money every time he talked with us. Now, I know that's the nature of sales. It's part of the game. But what I noticed over my time of being in those meetings and not really being able to voice my opinion, but just being talked at was these higher-ups, these big thinkers had even larger appetites. Growth wasn't good enough year over year. We needed explosive, parabolic growth to justify the company's existence. And I saw them try to dip their toes into 100 different ponds and try to expand our inventory and what we offered and what we could do for our customers. Not in an effort to make the experience of our users better, but just to get more of that sweet, sweet dinero. Eventually, it got to the point where I voiced my opinion and I said, hey, we're trying to do too many different things and we're not really focusing on what makes our company great. It would be like your favorite mom and pop pizza shop deciding that they were expanding the menu and they were going to have a salad bar. But then they were also going to offer fried chicken. And then they were also going to add tacos to the menu, etc., until the menu becomes so bloated that you don't even know what to order anymore when you do go to the restaurant. And as a result, you just go somewhere else, more focused, where they put more love and care into what they are delivering to the customer. So I brought that up. I said that we were trying to do too much, we were trying to spread ourselves too thin, and that we were a large company, but we were operating like we were 4 or 5 times larger than we really were. Upper management reassured me that they knew what they were doing. They had plotted all this out. They had run the analytics, and they knew that we could sustain this if we could do our part of the job and make sure that the sales team was delivering on everything they needed to deliver. Everything would be fine and go according to plan. Well, you see, the reason I bring this up is because this conversation I had with the higher-ups happened right at the very beginning of the year 2020. So yeah, shortly after that conversation, we all had the big shared indoors bad time that I can't name without YouTube getting mad. And suddenly, people weren't going out. People weren't spending extra money. They didn't have extra money. And as a result, all of these spinning plates that the higher-ups at my company told us to put out there, slowly, one by one, started crashing down. Their appetite for more money caused us to be in a very precarious position. And when we hit any hiccup in the road, let alone a full-blown lockdown, our existence just wasn't sustainable. And as a result, I and the rest of my team were let go. The entire sales division liquidated overnight. So what's the point of this anecdote, House? Why are you bringing this up? Not only did Epic Games let 1,000 plus people go, they are also shuttering the doors on multiple game modes. And at the end of the day, I can't help but wonder how they thought that this was going to be sustainable. If it has gotten to the point where the billions with a B of dollars of revenue that you're bringing in is not enough to sustain all the different game modes that you're offering on your video game platform, then maybe, just maybe, you should have been a little more focused and not expanded that scope as much as you did. Now, I'm admittedly no gaming insider. I don't have any insight into the inner workings of that. But as I demonstrated, I know sales, I know revenues, I know budgets, I know plans. And all of this, the lower amount of V-Bucks you get when you purchase items in the game, the shuttering of these side game modes, and the release of all these employees indicates mismanagement to me. Plain and simple. Somehow, somewhere along the way, an upper management member made a decision, and now, unfortunately, it's the people lower on the pyramid that have to bear the weight of the consequences of that decision. It's never the executive taking a pay cut, or maybe not taking a multi-million-dollar bonus that year. No, it's smaller people. People that they see as insignificant that get cut in an effort to save more money. Maybe I'm just sensitive to all of this as somebody who had their position pulled out from under them in one of the worst times in human history to lose your job. But I can't help but feel terrible for those individuals who lost their jobs. I have faith that they will be able to find new homes with companies that appreciate them. Fortnite is a juggernaut in the gaming culture, and I think that a lot of teams would be happy to have somebody who played a part in that helping them with their project. But I also feel terrible for those that are left behind. The employees that are now left to pick up the pieces and try to keep delivering a viable product that will make corporate happy, lest we have even more cuts. And let me just say, if you were upset about the amount of new content we were receiving each and every season, if you were worried about the use of AI increasing during the development of this game, then unfortunately I believe that these issues will get worse. Losing 1,000 people is a significant amount of manpower. And that means that updates are going to be slower. They're going to be made faster with less care. And ultimately, the people that are left behind are going to be forced to focus on how to get you, the player, to spend more money. Not by delivering a better product, not by giving you more incentive to spend more time in the game and, maybe throw them some extra dollars for some V-Bucks. No. Instead, it's going to get more nefarious. It's going to get more Skinner box-esque, and it's going to get more reliant on AI for development. They can say it doesn't have to do with AI as much as they want in their little speech. The reality of current day game development makes it clear what the next step is to make up for those people that are no longer working there. I know I'm just some small guy on YouTube. I know that nobody at Epic Games is going to watch this or say, you know what, we need to change this because Haunted House brought up these points. But I have to say, man, after my last video discussing V-Bucks and then this whole fiasco, I just am not in a good place right now when it comes to Fortnite. And you know what's really funny? When I was making an outline for that V-Buck video, I had initially wrote, make sure to mention the recent layoff at Epic Games. And when I did fact-checking research to make sure that was actually the case, I realized I was thinking of back in October of 2023 or whatever, whenever they had that last round of layoffs. So I initially was like, oh, House, what a dummy. Why would you even think that? They haven't had any layoffs recently. Well, here we are now. Was that a case of me having a premonition, or was it just super obvious writing on the wall leaking into my subconscious? Who knows? I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me ramble either way. And one last thing before we go, I made a community post about this, but I just want to make sure I get it out in video form as well. As some of you know, I am a partner with Epic Games. I am an Epic Games creator, or whatever it's called. And as a result, I do have a creator code that you can use to support the channel in the Epic Games Store or in Fortnite. I would just like to humbly ask that for the foreseeable future, until something gives or there's any reason to believe that things will get better, please just refrain from using my creator code if you could. I'm not going to hate on you if you want to purchase a skin in the game or even use another creator's code. By all means, feel free to do so. But I just personally don't feel comfortable supporting this game in that way, or having supporting me as a creator be some incentive for you to give Epic Games money at this point. It just doesn't sit right on my soul and on my heart. And yeah, if you could just refrain from doing that for me, I would really, really appreciate it. If you're looking for a way to help support the channel, an alternative, you could always become a channel member. But things are hard enough right now. Money doesn't go as far as it used to. And, you know, if you want to take that money you would have given to me and just get yourself a nice coffee or something, do something nice for yourself, buy that indie game you've been eyeing for a long time, do that instead. It's scary times right now. It's hard for a lot of people. And unfortunately, the pursuit of money makes it harder on all of us. But that's part of the reason I like to end these videos with just a quick reminder for each and every one of you watching. Make sure to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I'll see you in the next one, friends. Man, I just really hate having to make videos like this all the time.